Our third spotlight is on a feature that was requested by popular demand to be able to use QR codes for return tickets. Essentially, what operators were telling us is that they wanted the ability to use a QR code for the return journey, as that gave operators additional data on where these returns were being used, but for that QR code to only be allowed to be used once, and thus our single use QR code feature was born. Essentially, we built upon our QR hotlist capability to automatically hotlist a QR code once it had been used, and so the ticket cannot be used again. By implementing this in this way allows QR codes to be used not just for return tickets but any other uses. For example, open tour tickets where a ticket can be used once but any time within a month. Or even, say for example, with carnet tickets. The extension of QR codes in the system did not stop there. The most notable extension was the addition of our QR API. Whilst this is not a feature that can be directly used by our operators today, we have developed the option for the QR codes that can be scanned on ETMs to be issued from our back office via an API. We are making this API available to our third-party suppliers, for example app developers, to make the task of generating a valid QR code easier by taking that task away from them and allowing our system to do the heavy lifting. You will hear more about this in 2022 as suppliers and app developers start to make use of this capability. In addition, our ETMs can now scan and validate QR codes generated to the Rail Delivery Group standard. This means that tickets such as PlusPass can now be validated on the ETMs and not just accepted as flash passes. And finally, we added the extension to use contactless EMV to pay for the purchase of any fares associated with a QR code or an ITSO card. Whilst this feature was more in demand for ITSO cards, where there may be a surcharge to pay after scanning a smart card, support for this feature was added for QR codes so that we can retain parity in how all smart media can be used on our ETMs.